Latest football news, engaging debates,
and fascinating opinions.
Pitchside Talk on IO Radio.
Hello and welcome to Pitchside Talk here on IO Radio. It's Fridays at 5 p.m. with me, George, as always. Hope you're doing all well. Hope you've had a good week of football action. We have, but it has been a little bit sad along the way what happened on Sunday night, but we'll get onto that a little bit later on. But before we move on with today's show, I better mention our co-host. As always, he is returning after his suspension because he celebrated too much. We saw the wild images, Dan. You cannot hide away from them. You celebrate too much, but how are you doing, mate?
I'm doing pretty good. I think I learned my lesson for the final. But yeah, I'm all right. I'm back for the show again. It's a bit of a sad one today, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a sad one, but we do have good news as well. We it's not all about the sad things in football. It's all about sometimes the good stuff. But what have we actually got kind of in today's show? Well, before I even mention that, I better mention social media. Twitter is at Pitchside Talk. Instagram's at Talk_Pitch. YouTube, Mixcloud, both at Pitchside Talk. So what's coming out in today's show, you might wonder? Well, we're talking about the Euro Championships 2020 final that happened in 2021 because it is year 2021. We'll be talking about Ipswich Town as well. And hopefully, if we get some time, touch wood as always, we're going to try and do a massive football roundup because we have actually been forgetting about it the last few weeks. So yeah, when we come back, we'll be talking about the European Championship final that happened on Sunday at Wembley, Italy versus England. What could possibly go wrong from here? I don't know. Let's find out.
Stay up to date with the latest footy news.
Pitchside Talk on IO Radio.
Hello and welcome back to Pitchside Talk here on IO Radio. It's Fridays at 5 p.m. with me, George, and Dan, as always. Now, before we move on talking about Euro 2020, not Euro 2020 final that happened on Sunday between Italy and England in 2021. Disclaimer, because we are in year 2021. I better mention the social media. Twitter is at Pitchside Talk. Instagram is at Talk_Pitch. YouTube, Mixcloud, both at Pitchside Talk. If you want to listen back to any of our previous shows, do not worry. They are all up there. All 100 episodes because it is show 100. Funny enough, I forgot to mention that at the start, but yes, it's episode 100 of show 100, whatever you want to call it. We've done 100. Where's our medal? That's what. Where's the medal?
Yeah.
You know?
I was going to say happy anniversary.
Yeah, I tell you something, we should be getting one of those cards now from the Queen, shouldn't we? Because we've had
of course. Yeah.
You know? Everyone who gets one when they hit 100 years old for their birthday. We should get one for 100 episodes. Why not? It'd be quite funny. But we better move on to Euro 2020 after a month of absolute pure action in Euro 2020 in 2021. It draws to a close of the grand final on Sunday as 60,000 plus fans made the famous walk to Wembley to watch Italy versus England. And it is coming Rome. Wait, what? It's coming Rome? I thought it was supposed to be coming home this year. Well, we thought it was coming home, but unfortunately, it is not, as Italy claimed the Euro 2020 crown as England bid to end their 55-year wait of hurt failed. Dan, from the first whistle, Italy had been the favourites of the tournament. They won on the night. It was a 1-1. It went to penalties, and England fell short once again. But it was from a neutral point of view, it was a brilliant final. But from an England point of view, not so much when it hit penalties.
No, of course not. Everyone knows the penalty curse we have. We thought it was broken in the last World Cup, obviously against Colombia, but I don't think anyone wanted this game to go to penalties. It was like the worst thing that could have happened, but of course it did. But yeah, I think it was quite an interesting game. I thought the first 20 minutes we were on top, and I think the first half we were excellent. I think we played really well in the first half. Obviously, got the early goal. I think a lot of people have said we kind of maybe scored the goal too early. Maybe that's true. I think second half I think we came out a different team in the second half. I don't know. I'm not sure what it was. I think maybe we just wanted to keep that 1-0 lead, but it's always going to be difficult to do it against, a brilliant Italy side who, as you said, have looked at, dominant during this whole tournament. I think from early on they were favourites, and they were kind of unknown to me that they were going to be so good coming into the tournament. I didn't realise what an unbeaten run they've been on. I didn't even realise that. So yeah, brilliant job from Italy, who came out in the second half and I think dominated us really, didn't they? Maybe until probably 75 minutes, they were really, really dangerous. And obviously extra time, it was kind of, I think both teams were tired. There wasn't going to be a goal really in extra time, was there? You could tell from the off, and I think everyone in the country was just like, oh God, here we go. Here we go again. And obviously the penalty shootout was, I think, a lot of people have been talking about who's taken the penalties and the substitutions, but a penalty shootout is always 50-50. It doesn't matter who takes them, does it? No one thought when Maguire was stepping off, I was like, are you sure that's the right decision? What a penalty that was. So, it's always a 50-50 for me. And obviously Jorginho missed a penalty, which never happened. Yeah. So I don't think you can blame any penalty takers here. But yeah, it's just super, super disappointing. But I think overall, we've had a fantastic tournament, and I think we should be proud of where we got to, because it's only the second final in our history, which I think is a great achievement from the players in Southgate, and we should come out of this tournament with our heads held high. So I think the overall disappointment and anger has gone now, and I'm just proud we got to the final in the end, and it's been a really good summer.
Yeah, I think we should be really proud of where England have got to, because like you said, it's the only second major final we've ever made in our history. It doesn't come around once every blue moon, technically, really, because we don't really have much luck in sort of international tournaments. But yeah, we should be really proud of what the side did this summer. But to the winners, Italy, like we have said, they have dominated from the first whistle. I think they were sort of talked about at the start, dark horses really before the first game. They're like, oh, maybe Italy could do it, but we don't really know. We need to see what they can do. But, every game they've done an outstanding job. I think Mancini can reflect on what a brilliant job he has done, really. When he took over from the Italian national side when they failed to qualify for the World Cup back in 2017, he sort of has reshaped the whole side from the side, the backroom staff, the philosophy of the national team. It was sort of quite condemned really in Italian media. We all know what the Italian media is like when big events like happen. They absolutely slate things, but he sort of rebuilt that. He's built a winning machine here, with that mix of youth, that experience. Not everybody's from the biggest clubs in Italy. It's from quite a lot of the teams that are like mid-table, with those sort of players. Locatelli now has been spoken about going to the big clubs now in Europe, and he's placed with somebody not mid-table in Serie A. But, that mix of youth and experience, we had the backline of Chiellini and Bonucci as well. Also, I think like a combined age of 70 years old, something crazy like that.
That's mental.
But the run being the last 34, only 2 losses under Mancini's first 39 games. I think we can say that Mancini, when he was at City, was absolutely criticised for the style of play and everything. He was really underappreciated, but here he deserves all the credit he has done here with his job, because he has absolutely turned around Italy from looking absolutely awful to now being one of the best sides in Europe or possibly the world here.
Yeah, it's a absolutely fantastic turnaround. I think you're right. He was criticised a lot, wasn't he? But I still see him as a world-class manager. I think he's, a brilliant, brilliant manager. And the fact that he's turned this Italy team around, who obviously didn't qualify for the last World Cup, it was, massively disappointing. I know they haven't looked like a well-oiled team for a while, have they at all? It's been a long time since they've looked this competitive, and I think the turnaround that he's done is, it's absolutely fantastic. And to go that many games unbeaten, it's you can't look past that, can you? And then I guess to bring that run into a tournament and do it during the big stage as well. It's just, I think no one could touch them this tournament. And I think inside a lot of England fans probably thought that this would be too tough a game for England to get through because of just how good they've looked this tournament. But as I said before, I didn't really realise that they were going to come into this tournament with that unbeaten run, with that confidence behind them, and get to the final. I don't think a lot of people would have predicted an Italy-England final, would they? No, but I think Mancini he's been absolutely fantastic for Italy and turned them around, and obviously, I guess changed the face of their country, because it's been, a lot of hurt in the last 10 years for them. So again, congratulations to Italy in the final, because I think they deserved it. And fair play to them, because it's been a fantastic run, and let's see where they can go from here.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely woken a sleeping giant, we can say, really. They've been asleep for a long time and now properly awake. But now to England, the wait continues to end that 55-year wait of hurt, which is going to now be 56 before 56 before the next international tournament rolls around. Still waiting for that major trophy. A night really full of anticipation, a lot of tension, and some massive heartbreak for Gareth Southgate's side. But England on the night were fired up, really. That goal inside 2 minutes really set the tone of the game. Luke Shaw from Luke Shaw, his first ever international goal. What a time to score it, perfectly honest. But they went toe-to-toe with Italy. Maybe not much so in the second half of the start of it. Really didn't really go toe-to-toe with them. Looked a little bit chasing shadows. But I think we can say from England, really, they did very well in the game to go toe-to-toe with Italy. Somebody who were full of confidence. Favourites have been big sides. They've beaten Belgium along the way here. They've beaten Spain in the penalties. I know we've beaten Germany as well, but they've had a tougher run than us. But when it came down to penalties, England just fell at that last hurdle just to get over that line, just to get the penalties in. They just fell over, unfortunately.
We're never going to be favourable with penalties, but I think we did well to keep Italy at bay. I think they had a lot of keeping the ball. Obviously, they like to do that, pass the ball around. They looked really tidy in possession, but not really creating much with it. I think they had quite a few shots in the end. I think we have 6 in the end, which I wouldn't say is really enough in a final. But I think we defended well. Actually, saying that, the goal was it was a scramble, wasn't it? It wasn't the best defensively. But I think we did well to keep them at bay for quite a lot of the game, because, as I said before, they looked really dangerous. And I don't think we can complain, really. I don't think it was our best performance of the tournament, but the final has that added pressure, doesn't it? It has that added, and the fact that it was at Wembley as well, in front of that many England fans. It's always going to be difficult, and it's always going to be cagey. And I think there was a lot of that in this game. We got off to a fantastic start, and I think it's kind of the same as the World Cup, wasn't it? In that we score early and just can't get over the line. It happened again, which is always going to be massively disappointing. And I do feel sorry for the players and Gareth Southgate to come all this way and just fall at the last hurdle.
Hurdle.
I can't speak, but hurdle. But I think we should be proud of what this England team has done, and I think proud of the performance we put in. As I said, it's not the best, but we kept them at bay, and we went toe to toe with them. We did our best to try and win the game. I think the second half could have been better, but that's how it goes in these games, doesn't it? And we should keep our heads held high.
Yes, keep our heads held high. I think we could totally agree with that. And after the game, Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho, and Bukayo Saka were targeted in vile and horrible online racial abuse after they missed their penalties in the final. We find this abuse, received by the players uncalled for and horrific. Just to see and read, and we condone any racial abuse online and anywhere really in the world. But we've seen the whole football community come around to support Rashford, Sancho, and Bukayo Saka. What's happened? We're seeing with sort of Marcus Rashford's mural he has in Manchester United, which got tarnished with graffiti, but it has now been sort of redesigned again, and fans have left lovely messages, hundreds of messages, and also there has been an anti-racist protest by that mural as well. But there's been some pretty firm statements come out from the FA and from England about racial abuse. And Kane saying, if you're going to abuse anybody on social media, you're not an England fan, and we do not want you. This is just horrible to see, really, because they've missed penalties. Yes, they've missed penalties, but in such a high anticipated situation like this, it's going to happen. But this should not be happening at all. Because all the stuff they do, with the taking the knee, the social media blackout, it shows, unfortunately, I know it sounds bad, it shows it's not working. What has happened here? But this is just so uncalled for, especially for something like Bukayo Saka. He's 19 here, and he's receiving this from missing a penalty. That's just sickening to read, and for Sancho and for Rashford as well.
It is, yeah. It's it's so disgusting, and it's always these cowards who hide behind fake usernames and profile pictures that they wouldn't say it to their faces, would they? It's completely disgusting, and I couldn't believe the amount of messages I saw for all these players have done for us in this tournament. What a fantastic summer, they've brought us to. As I said before, a penalty shootout is 50-50. It's going to happen. To throw abuse like that is just, it's uncalled for and completely disgusting. And I really hope, I think so. The social media companies need to do more. Twitter, Instagram. Hopefully they work with the FA and FIFA or whoever to try and get these people that did this, because it's just, I think it tarnishes our reputation as England fans. I think we have a reputation anyway because of what happened in the 80s and 90s, but it's a minority, isn't it? We saw what happened at Wembley yesterday as well before the game. It's a minority that ruin it for everyone else. And it's horrible to see scenes like that and to see the messages these players are getting. It's sickening, and I really do hope that these people can be found and punished, because it's getting too much now. As you say, there's things that are being, I'm all for the knee, and I think that's a great thing. And the social media blackout, I think, was a really good idea. But as you said, it's not making a difference, and I think there needs to be something more done. I'm not sure what that could be. I'm not the person to say what that could be, but I'm just fed up with seeing these cowards put messages like that on players' social media. It's just getting too much now. So yeah, it ruined the night, didn't it, really? Because that's what people are talking about now, which is just unfortunate. It shouldn't be like that.
No, it shouldn't be, because, all three players have had wonderful tournaments. They put a smile on everybody's faces, and it's been tarnished by this, because it's now been the news now for, 4 or 5 days now. That's been in the news, constantly been talking about. It's horrible to read, really, and more does need to be done. I same here. I don't know what needs to be done really to stop this, but something major needs to really happen with the social media companies. I don't think they do enough, in my personal opinion. But yeah, moving away from that horrific stuff we saw online, England, they might have fallen short once again, but Gareth Southgate's side and his team have improved once again, going one step further than 2018, making the final, first time in 55 years. They united the country once again back in the national side, which I think has been the strongest I've ever seen it in my lifetime, and I think the strongest we've ever seen it ever. Probably since winning the World Cup. But we might have suffered more pain, but we should, like we've been saying, we should be very proud of this side of what they have achieved, really breaking down the barriers, all the criticism coming into the tournament. Is this side good enough? Will it do it? Is Southgate the right manager? After the Scotland game, apparently wasn't, but since then the momentum has been building. But surely Gareth Southgate is the right man to lead England now into the future. We know his contract's up after the 22 World Cup. He wants to lead the side beyond that and into that World Cup as well. But, realistically, they've put a smile on everybody's faces after what has been a very dreadful 16 months of absolute life at the moment. It's been dreadful here in England, but they put a smile on everybody's faces, which was needed. But it's just, just got to get that final hurdle out the way, really.
Yeah, of course. But I think morale was so low in this country, isn't it? That we needed something like this, and we needed a good tournament, and that's what we've got. Southgate and the players have united the country, and I think the excitement and the buzz, as you said, it's the most I've seen. It was a brilliant World Cup in 2018, but I think the fact that we got to the final this time it just felt more, didn't it? And I think we as a country felt that this is the best chance we've had in a long time. So yeah, you have to thank the manager and the players for bringing the country together in such tough times, because it's brought happiness across the country, and it's just it's just disappointing that we just couldn't get it over the line at the last hurdle. And we'll come back stronger. I feel like these players that we have now, the young players, they'll be older next year. Hopefully they will have improved by that time. And I think Southgate is the right man to take us into that after I don't know, I'm not sure who would think otherwise, because he's taken us to a semi-final and a final in 2 consecutive major tournaments. France lost in the final of the Euros in 2018. 2016, sorry. So it's coming home. 2022. Let's go.
I was wondering when you was going to bring that stat up, because I heard about that and I went, oh no,
yeah.
But it's disappointing that it had to end like this. Really, it is disappointing it had to end like this. But as we said, all the players now got experience of playing in the final. We know that can actually help probably going into the future. They won't experience that again. But we must talk about Euro 2020 itself. It may have been delayed by a year because of COVID-19, but it finally did happen. And I think we could say what a tournament it has been. It's sort of proven that, showing the international football drama that we've been missing. We've been missing international football drama. The friendlies have been naff as always. Nation League doesn't provide it. The World Cup doesn't come around every so often, but when the Euros came around, it provided all that action we needed. And it showed we've been missing it. We've been missing and craving it. And it does show that normality is coming back. And, I think it's quite nice to see Euro 2020 finally get celebrated the way maybe it wasn't supposed to be, but it did get celebrated in the end because it was the 60th anniversary of the European Championships.
Yes, yeah, of course. It was, I think it came at a crucial time, really, didn't it? As we kind of mentioned. And yeah, it's been a really good tournament. It's been an eventful one. There's been some fantastic games. There's been some surprises. There's been some dark horses. There's also been some, horrible moments as well. But yeah, I think overall we can look back at this tournament and think it's been a really, really good tournament. And I guess I'm pleased there's just over a year and a half until the next one, because I love when these tournaments come around. As you said, friendlies and Nations League, they don't cut it. I'm not interested. I just find it boring. I'll watch it, but it's just England playing against San Marino or a team like that. It's just, we're gonna win, aren't we? It's just not gonna. Obviously, I want England to win, but it's not a challenge, really, is it? And I'd like to see good games of football. And as well, I don't think the Nations League really cuts it either, does it? I don't think a lot of people are really interested in that. So for this to come around this summer and be a really good tournament with games that have been really exciting, I think it's fantastic. It's been a fantastic watch, and I'm sad to see it end, really, because I know it's less than a month till the season starts again. But I have a feeling that'll be quite a long 3 and a bit weeks, won't it?
So long. I'm counting down the days. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm absolutely lost. I tried to turn on the TV last night, trying to watch football. It wasn't there. Absolutely sad. But that was everything for the European Championships in 2020. Oh, well, sorry, Euro 2020 in 2021. That is everything. The tournament's now ended. Italy are the winners. Congratulations to Italy. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about Ipswich Town this week because they kicked off their pre-season and they made another signing, number 7. We'll find out right after this.
The best place in Ipswich to hear the latest football debates, Pitchside Talk on IO Radio.
Hello and welcome back to Pitchside Talk here on IO Radio. It's Fridays at 5 p.m. with me, George, and Dan. As always now, before we move on talking about Ipswich Town this week, I better mention the social medias. If not, I'll forget. And that looks really bad. Also, as well, it is our 100th show today. So, we deserve a card, medal, whatever. Hey, round of applause. But better social media, so I'm going a bit sidetracked there. Twitter is at Pitchside Talk, Instagram is at Talk_Pitch, YouTube, Mixcloud are both at Pitchside Talk. And if you missed anything from today's show, us talking about Euro 2020 final happened on Sunday between Italy and England. Do not worry, it'll be up at 6 p.m. on the YouTube, where you can listen back to it. You can listen back to whatever part you'd like to, be listened there, available for you at 6 p.m. Now, Ipswich Town this week. We have seen them kick off their pre-season for the first time. Oh my God, brilliant. A new look squad, the return of fans to away day. Oh my God, Dan, I was quite surprised you weren't there. I'm really joking, but you weren't there. Could have got tickets, could have gone down Dartford for the day. But
no, I didn't. No,
sorry.
Disappointed.
And also, another signing has been made in the transfer window, and possibly another leaver is happening soon. It could be number 15 leaving out the door of Portman Road. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll get down to that a little bit later on. But as we mentioned there, Ipswich Town, they've begun their pre-season this on Saturday with a victory at Dartford, which we saw some new faces, the fans being back to watch Ipswich Town for the first time for an away day since, oh my God, March 2020. I can't remember the game. Been the last game.
Oh no, that season, these last 2 seasons just blur into one.
I'm gonna do some quick show research.
Maybe Tranmere.
Now that was January. I'm trying to think what was. We had those 2 games back to back,
okay,
and then we had. Oh my God, it's gone blank. We played a squad. I'll tell you that much. We played a squad. In League One.
Yeah, we definitely did.
Because we had those 2 games back to back at home. Remember that, Fleetwood and Coventry. Yep. And then we played.
Yes.
I can't actually remember. This is really
Blackpool. It was Blackpool.
Was it Blackpool? Was it Blackpool? You sure?
Yeah. It was. Yeah.
I'm gonna double check you. Wait. You are correct. We played Blackpool for the first time since February 29th, 2020. Fans returned back to an away day. Dan, it might have just been pre-season, but this game here felt like an absolute proper away day and a game and a match for Ipswich Town, really, with fans all there and Town back, new look squad, all rosy, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say we probably should have done our research before we started, but yeah, it's great to see the fans back again. It's been such a long time. We've all missed it, haven't we? It's been really tough, I think, watching it over a questionable iFollow service. I'm not going to go into that properly, but it's not could be improved a bit. But yeah, I think it's great to see fans back, and I think it was great to see our new CEO Mark Ashton kind of going out and talking to the fans, and for the first time, because when was the last time we saw that? It was 13 years of no communication to fans whatsoever. I think Mark Ashton has actually said he's going to do a supporters group. He's going to talk to them and stuff like that, which is going to be a good thing. It seems like he really, finds the fans important, which is really good to see. But yeah, I think I think seeing these new players, seeing our new signings for the first time was really good. And I think our fans are probably quite impressed with what they saw, weren't they?
Yes, they were quite impressed. Well, Paul Cook, he fielded all his new 6 signings in his senior side for the first time, which played out a first goalless 45 minutes before a younger side emerged, which actually got the winner. I can't remember who scored the goal down again.
It was, here we go, Tawanda Chirewa, I think is how you pronounce it.
Now you're just showing off because I can't probably say the name and I'm going to butcher it.
I think that's right.
Yeah, whatever Dan said there.
Say it is.
You showed off too much. His goal unlocked the game really from outside the box as well. Nice goal he scored there.
Yeah.
Nice little goal. Dan, early days, but Town off to winning start. I know it's only preseason. I know. Okay, it's preseason, but a winning start so far. It shows really that things are going in the right way for Town. Things are starting to turn the right way. A winning start, I know against Dartford, it's a National League side, but still, a win is a win. It's pre-season, but it shows that the things that Town are doing is taking them in the right steps they need to go.
Yeah, I think the signings we've made, I don't think there's a signing so far that I've been a bit like meh at. They've all been really decent signings. It seems like our new owners, really, I think they're desperate to get out of this league as soon as possible, and I'm all for that. So yeah, I think getting off to a winning start is always a good thing. I know a lot of people say it's only a friendly, it means nothing, but we'll take it, won't we? I think first half, obviously I wasn't there and didn't watch the game, but I heard we were quite dominant. A lot of the players played really well. All 6 signings. Well, it's 7 now, but all of the 6 signings started. Spoiler alert. So yeah, and I think all of them showed signs of what they can do, which was really, really good to see. Hopefully, it will give us a good indication of how they're going to perform at the start of this season. Obviously, as I said, it's just a friendly, so it'll be a tougher test in the league, obviously. But I think to start pre-season off in this, it's kind of another new era, really, isn't it, in Ipswich Town? There's been a lot of new eras recently, but this really seems like we've turned a corner, doesn't it? This seems really serious now. I think all the other times we were hopeful, but this time it really seems like we're trying to change things and do things the right way instead of. I think Marcus Evans just cut corners a lot, didn't he? And trying to get us to the Premier League. He could have done at one point. It didn't. He didn't do enough. But yeah, I think the new American owners, Mike O'Leary and Mark Ashton and his team, they really seem to have the club's best interests at heart and really are focusing on getting this club back to the Championship this season, and hopefully it happens this season because I think we're all desperate for it.
We are all desperate for it. It feels like there's an actual plan. They've actually gone somewhere, written a plan out quite thoroughly instead of Marcus Evans basically going, "Here's a plan. I haven't really written it out. I've just thought about it 5 seconds ago. Do you like it? Do you?
Let's sign Ollie Hawkins."
Let's go with that then, please. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It feels, it feels like there is actually something in place. It's emotion. There's people that actually, I think, care about it, which is something I think Evans did, but not in the way that we wanted it to be cared about. But he cared about keeping us afloat. But as you said, all the 6 signs, they started the game and made an impact really on their debut. The new goalkeeper, I'm not going to try and butcher his name because I've actually forgotten how you say his name. We need to find out what his nickname is. He's apparently got a nickname. He hasn't told anybody yet. He's got to tell somebody.
I think he said it to the Kings of Allen guys, but I can't remember what it is.
Oh, Dan,
I can't quite remember. Sorry, I haven't done research either.
Can you show off your skills again and try and pronounce his name for me, please?
Okay, Václav Hladký.
Thank you very much. He kept a clean sheet, but didn't really have much to do really in the game. Matt Penny, he kept getting forward on the left-hand side, putting plenty of crosses into the box. Pretty good there for as well. Where's Burns? very direct runs, causing a lot of problems as well, which is good to see. And also McKaylee Bonn looking very good up top. 2 minutes in, he hit the crossbar. So looks like he could be a very good, useful impact sub for Ipswich Town. And also Rakeem Harper looking like a very top player as well. Apparently, a first touch of a very top player, somebody described it. So it looks like Ipswich Town have got a very good sign in their hands. And also Lee Evans as well, switching up the play with his range of passing, wearing the captain's armband as well. Shows some indications there that he's going to be the new captain of Ipswich Town. But Paul Cook saying, the club is trying to sign good players who are worth waiting for. And I think on first impression, all these signings are fitting in very nicely and gelling very well with the new squad.
Yeah, it seems like that from the off, doesn't it? And it's really good to see that, because we're actually signing quality players, which I'm sorry to all the players that we've signed recently, but it never usually happens. So yeah, I'm really pleased. I think we said Rakeem Harper, he looks like a really good player. Lee Evans, he's going to be a leader, isn't he? He's going to be that resilient leader in that midfield that Paul Cook knows how he is, and it's a great player. I think Halagki, he's a fantastic goalkeeper, did brilliant in League Two. Macaulay Bonn, he's going to have a little bit of competition, I'd say, but which we'll get into in a minute. But he had a fantastic start. I'm really excited about this new signing, by the way. I don't know if you noticed, I keep mentioning him.
I can't tell at all,
But yeah, he's supporter of this club. Who have I missed out? Burns and Penny as well, who look lively down them wings. So yeah, I'm really happy with the signings we've made so far, because again, these signings show we've turned the page of what the kind of players we wanted to sign previously under previous owners. You've got to be excited for this new season, haven't you? You just have to. I can't wait for it.
No, I cannot wait for it as well. Well, you keep mentioning about it. Signing number 7 was made, came through the door, and this one, I think, in my personal opinion, this is an absolutely big signing here, and a statement sign as well, because Ipswich Town signed on a free after his contract at Wimbledon expired in Joe Pigott. The Blues fought off some interest from championship clubs. He had a lot of interest. He could have gone to the championship, but he denied it. He went to Ipswich Town. He described Ipswich Town as a very big club. Last season, Joe Pigott down absolutely on fire. 22 goals for AFC in Wimbledon. Paul Cook is super excited about it, describing the signing as to get a lad of Joe's quality across the line is absolutely a massive plus for everybody at the club. This could be a potentially good sign, because he said about we needed a goal scorer, because you need a goal scorer to win games. It looks like this town have actually signed one. No disrespect to McKaylee Bonn and James Norwood, they're good strikers as well, but this one looks like a higher class player. But this shows that there's now going to be some major competition for that starting striker role, and Paul Cook sort of in his new starting formation of the 4-2-3-1. But also as well, this shows that Ipswich Town ain't mucking around, and possibly getting him coming to League One, staying in League One, not going to Championship might convince maybe your favourite new player, Matt Crooks, to maybe come down to Suffolk sometime soon.
Yeah, he's my favourite player. We haven't even signed him yet. But this fantastic signing. I think he was one of the players that a lot of people wanted us to sign this summer, because we all know he was out of contract. But I feel like I thought he was going to go to the Championship. So to sign him, I'm very, very happy about that. I think he's going to give Norwood and Bonn a run for their money. I think it's especially Norwood, actually, because he's kind of been our main striker, if he's not injured for the last 2 years. So for a player like Pigott to come in, who scored so many goals last year, considering Wimbledon struggled, to score that many. Was it 22? Did you say
22.
To score that many? Yeah. To score 22 goals in a season Wimbledon had. I think they had a good end to the season, but it shows his quality, doesn't it? And I think, I hope at a club like Ipswich, he can really show that off. So yeah, another quality signing that I'm really happy with. I hope he succeeds here, and hopefully this is a sign of things to come. Let's keep fingers crossed, because
Yes.
the quality we're signing is really good, and I've seen so many people saying that we should be favourites for this league, and I really hope we are. I just hope it doesn't fall off like it usually does. But hopefully with the quality players we're signing and a player that can score goals in Pigott, it'll be a success.
And also as well, on a free as well.
Yeah, on a free.
But sort of look at what it's just been doing in sort of the transfer market. A lot of the signs that have been made are frees. I think two or three of them undisclosed. Looks like Ipswich Town are doing some very good business here, despite clubs saying that they're paying extortionate rates, they're spending too much money, we're going to have to contact the EFL, the wages are too high and all this.
They're bitter, aren't they, George? They're bitter.
I know they're bitter because they haven't got rich owners like we have now. And we're absolutely loving it because we're rolling in that dollar, aren't we?
Yes, really? Exactly. But, we are.
Good transfer window so far. Well, Paul Cook, he has promised some more additions are on the way. But in the meantime, Ipswich Town have reportedly received an offer from AFC Bournemouth. They're coming for Ipswich Town player. I wonder who they want. But it's not Kane Jackson. It's Flynn Downs. As the midfielder is looking for a fresh challenge, as he made it known to Paul Cook that he wanted to leave at the end of the summer. Dan, we've known for a little bit of time that Downs has wanted out at Ipswich Town last season. That was the big saga coming into the season. Will Downs stay or will he go? Would he go to Crystal Palace? Crystal Palace didn't offer the money that, Town desired, and he stayed. And, we all know how it ended in the end. He didn't play much. He got injured, didn't really play at all under Paul Lambert, and then Paul Cook, not too much more. But, this is now probably the right time for him really to go. We know he wants to go. I think Town fans have accepted it, and not saying badly, but they do want him to sort of go a little bit, sort of have a fresh start. We're sort of seeing with a lot of the homegrown players have gone. Andre Dazelle, we know Teddy Bishop's possibly on the way out, possibly Flynn Downs on the way out as well. But now it's down to Mike Ashton to sort out the right fee for the midfielder now, really.
Yeah, obviously it's not going to be as high as we want it to be for the season he had last year. But I think we were all expecting him to leave, and I think, as you said, Ipswich fans have kind of accepted that. So I don't think, obviously, it's going to be sad to see him leave because we know he's a fantastic player, and I think, I think as Ipswich fans, and probably him himself as well, know that he's champion. He's got quality to be a championship player. So I think a move to Bournemouth would be a really good move for him. I think he's been linked with other clubs as well. But yeah, I feel like we've signed replacements for him. I don't think if he does stay, which, is highly unlikely, he's not going to be a starter, is he? So I think it will definitely be best for him to move to another club. Of course, it'll be sad for it to see him go, like it is for all of our players that have come through the academy. But I think the fact that we're kind of starting again, we can't be sentimental about it, and we need to look what's best for the club. And frankly, he's been in a squad, that have failed. No matter how good of a player we think he is, that's the hard truth. So hopefully we can get decent money for him. I don't expect it to be more than 2 million. But I think that'd be decent business considering we signed Harper and Evans for a grand total of about 500k. So I'll take it.
Yeah, I had to quickly ask you, it's a very quick question. If Town do get a reasonable fee for him, would it possibly lead to future transfer signs? We know that one player they really do want, he's flown out to Hungary this week. That's the big news. He's flown out to Hungary. He could possibly come back because the Rotherham manager said he could possibly come back to sort other deals out. But would that possibly maybe fund that and maybe help Town give it an extra advantage trying to compete with some championship clubs as well?
Yeah, I think it will help. I think we've had 3 bids rejected now. I don't think we haven't got the money, but obviously a deal like that will help financial wise, and hopefully help this deal get over the line, because I think if we can sign him, it's going to be a massive statement to the rest of the league. That's for sure. A fantastic player that I feel like Paul Cook and the owners in Ashton really, really want to get over the line. Hopefully, if we can let Downs go for a good fee, then hopefully that will help. I just think I'm a little bit worried about this deal actually going through, because he's going to have championship interest, isn't he? Is he really going to want to come here after he had a season in the championship? I don't think it'll be long until they accept a bid, because I don't think it can go much higher than $1 million, but it's whether he wants to join Ipswich. And hopefully with the quality of players we've signed and, the project, hopefully he'll be persuaded to come to Suffolk, because I think that'd be a quality signing. I really would.
Yeah, I think Suffolk's much better than Rotherham, I think, personally. In my personal opinion. Don't you agree? Don't you agree?
Yeah, I live here, so yes, of course.
Yeah, well, you've got to agree anyway. If not, that doesn't look very good. Well, Dan, we've hit the end of the show. We've run out of time. We've run out of extra time. All that, we've been talking so much. We've run out of extra time. VAR won't let us have any more time. I want to thank you very much, as always, for being on the show, as always.
No problem.
I said always, too much there. Always. I thought I'd just let you guys know, we're not going to be doing a show next week. No, we're going to have a break. We're going to have our summer break. We need to have a week off, recharge our batteries, get ready for the new season that is coming up soon. So the next show you will hear is on the 30th of July. So we'll be talking all stuff about Ipswich Town, because I'm sure Ipswich Town won't be quiet when we're going off air, unfortunately. It'd be nice if they would, so we can have all the exclusives, but there's kind of an important transfer window, I think, really, that needs to be sorted out first before the start of the season on the 6th of August. Well, Dan, I want to thank you very much. As always, again, before we go, I've mentioned social media. Twitter is at Pitch I Talk, Instagram is at Talk Guns Pitch, YouTube, Mixcloud, both at Pitch I Talk. If you want to listen back to this show, if you miss anything today from the 100th episode or the show, don't worry, it'll be up at 6 p.m. in a few minutes' time on YouTube and Mixcloud. Well, I want to thank you, everybody, for listening. I've been George. He's been Dan. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time, and ciao.
See you later.
The whistle has been blown for full time. Tune in next week for another jam-packed show.